Being a Broadway performer is pretty cool.
And a lot of hard work.
Getting there is even harder.
We're going to tell you all about it.
I'm Adrienne Walker.
And I'm Austin Cook.
Welcome to 32 Bar Cut. Welcome to Broadway Banter on 32 Bar Cut. I'm Adrienne Walker.
I'm Austin Cook.
And today we are sharing our favorite shows.
Yes, our
Musical
favorite
theater, shows and plays.
Yeah, our favorite shows. This will give you some insight to us, what we like, and we want to hear what you like in the comments. So let us know if we're crazy. We may think this show is great and you think it's the worst show that there ever was.
Yeah, and we're open to that, honestly, because there are shows that people really love that I personally hate. So
Hate's a strong
there's
word.
Something for everyone.
That's right. There's something for everyone. We all have our own things that we like. We have our own life experiences, so we connect to different stories, different plots. Some people like the big, grand Broadway with all the dancing and spectacle, and some people don't. Some people just like the more intimate, honest stories. So we all have our own thing. So feel free to go at it in the comments. Let us know if we're crazy. And on the subject of YouTube and comments and all the things, please hit that like button, subscribe with the notification bell on, and that way you can stay up to date with all of our episodes.
Yep. Okay, so do you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
My list is longer than yours.
You have a long list. It's hard to please me, so I have a short list.
Okay, well, I'm not giving a disclaimer. These are the shows that I like. First up is Caroline or Change.
Ooh, good choice.
And I've actually never gotten a chance to see Caroline or Change. I've only listened to the cast recording, and I love it. I love that it's through composed. It makes me think of opera in that way. I love any musical that's through composed, really. And I love the story, the characters, the music, the soulfulness. I think that the music is very challenging, so I respect every actor that was involved in the production, and I can't wait to see Roundabout Theater put it on next year.
Yeah, it's coming to Broadway.
So Caroline or Change is first on my list.
I like that. That's a good choice. My top choices all go to August Wilson. You knew this was coming.
So
August
you're doing
Wilson.
plays? You're jumping right into
I'm
plays?
doing plays. I mean, honestly, people, it's crazy that I'm a music director and I'm into Broadway. But I love Broadway. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I mean, really, I love honesty, like honesty in storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I love film for that reason, independent films. I love the gritty, raw stuff. And I love plays for, plays that let you be a fly on the wall, where you can just witness some crazy stuff that went down on this one night. You get to witness it. You get to learn something, inspire you, make, whatever. I like that kind of real play because I connect to it more. If it's just the escapism and just the la, 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 it's it's nice, it's fun, but it doesn't fulfill me in some sort of greater way. It's just that was fun. So is eating pizza, It's that.
You want to leave feeling changed.
I want to leave knowing something or learning something about characters or feeling like that was great acting. That's just, and music is the same way for me. That's how I treat music. If you ever worked with me in musicals, I treat it very seriously. I need the music to be great, not just good. I need it to be great because the people that are paying to see the show, they want to be, that's my belief. I want to be transcended to some greater place. I don't want, and nowadays with all of entertainment so accessible, we can see good stuff anywhere. You can go to YouTube and watch good stuff. You can watch all the Netflix and blah, blah, you can watch good stuff everywhere. So if I'm going to a musical and I'm paying $200 to see the show, the music better be just mind-blowing, right? Because also we're competing with concerts. We're competing with all the pop artists. Like Bruno Mars concert, you better believe when you go to a Bruno Mars concert, the music is banging. It's great, right? The show is great. You pay $200 for that Bruno Mars ticket. You're paying the same for Broadway, so the music when you show up to that needs to be great. Anyway, all that is a sidebar about how I feel about these things, my friend. But August Wilson, greatest playwright in my opinion. Love August Wilson. Love everything he does. If I had to pick favorites, I would say Jitney. Love Jitney. Fantastic play. If you haven't seen Jitney, you've got to see Jitney. Read it at least if you haven't read it. And same with Fences. I love fences, and they made it into a movie, which was really cool. And they recently did Ma Rainey's, which was cool. August Wilson that just can do no wrong, in my opinion. So that's my favorite.
August Wilson is also on my list. I said anything August Wilson. We both made a list, but we haven't shared it with each other, so we're sharing it together.
It's a surprise.
As we talk. So don't look at my list.
I didn't look at it.
Next up on my list is Hamilton.
Hamilton.
I know. Hamilton is one of my favorite shows because I remember listening to the cast album when I first experienced Hamilton, and I fell in love with that. And then when I got a chance to actually see the production, the first time I saw the production was in LA for the LA opening. And I fell in love with that. And then I got to see it again when you were conducting on Broadway. And that was exciting. And I know it's like, the big show. It's a trend. Everyone loves Hamilton. I love Hamilton. I love Hamilton. I have no complaints.
It's a great show. It's not on my list just because you probably know why. It's
why?
I don't know.
How is it not on your list?
It's not on my list because in order for something to be my favorite, it needs to be like my favorite, right? Like, isn't that the point of a favorites list? Is like that it's truly one of my favorites. And it's not just because maybe it's because I'm so close to it. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. I don't know. I'm too close to it. I think if I was rating top music, Hamilton would be on the list. Music.
So wait, what is this list then?
What do you mean? It's
For
my
me,
favorite shows.
Your favorite show, so it has to encompass more.
So
what is the criteria for it?
That it's my favorite. That is like today, what I'm thinking right now, that it's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
And today it's not on my favorites list. It's just like food. Like if I were to say my favorite food, I might say pizza. But you're like, but you eat a cheeseburger 5 times a week. You love cheeseburgers. I'm like, yeah, I love cheeseburgers, but it's not my favorite right now. My favorite is pizza.
So your favorite changes, which is fine. Your favorite can change.
It's just, like when I see Hamilton, like taking in the play, it's not the same experience as orally for me. I think orally, it's like it's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I think orally, what it's doing, my favorite. Visually, it's fine.
He's hard to please, folks.
I'm hard to please.
Hamilton's on my list. Yeah. Do you want me to go next
again?
I know my list is longer than yours. So
go again.
My next favorite show is Dreamgirls. When I hear the cowbell at the top of the show, I get so giddy with excitement. I love Dreamgirls. I love everything about it. The costumes, the drama, the music. It's very unbelievable in some ways. I don't care. I know when I don't care that I love a show. So yeah, I love Dreamgirls.
Yeah, I love it.
He doesn't agree.
No, Dreamgirls, I like it. I like it. It's good, But again, it's an aesthetic thing, right? Like I'm trying to explain my aesthetic. It's just not really that.
Yeah.
Right, that's not my aesthetic. Do I love it? Sure. Do I love the music in it? That's different. Do I love the music in it? Sure. But I'm more of like a story, honesty.
I get that.
Construction.
There's there's definitely issues with the story. Right. I will give you that. But when you talk about the costumes, like any production of Dreamgirls, you have to go for the costumes and the gowns and the songs and just all the quick changes. Like everything about it is exciting. And spectacle. And so, I definitely think musical theater when I think of Dreamgirls. Yeah,
definitely. Well, do you want to give another one?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw out a black sheep.
Okay.
That nobody's going to say, but I will say it because I think it fits my aesthetic better. I had such a great experience at this show that it makes my favorites list.
What show is this?
The Band's Visit.
That's on my list.
The Band's Visit made the list because, first off, going into it, I didn't know anything about it. So I was like, I don't really know much about the show, but, we got a chance to see it. So Adrienne and I went.
Yeah.
And I was just so surprised because really it was a play with music, which I love. Technically, sure, it's a musical, but I just mean it's a play in like the setup. It's like this event happens over the course of one night. The stuff hits the fan, and you get to witness a story unfold. And it was done beautifully to the music of that culture, which I loved. So, and it was it was a drama, which I also love. I'm not really into musical comedy. You'll pick that theme up. I'm not like a musical comedy guy. So it's nice when it's a little more dramatic and like feels a little more honest to what happened at that time and the love stories involved and people's just humanity and how they felt. And I really thought it was beautiful music, beautifully directed, beautifully sound designed, and a gorgeous show. So that's making the list.
That's making the list. That's on my list too. That was on my list too. So that's good.
So I'm not so crazy.
I actually, as you were talking, I thought of one that I forgot to put on my list. So I'll say it now just so I don't forget it.
What's that?
But that's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
That's on my list too.
Yeah. Because, okay, so for one, it was just like a special event for us to go.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan and have been since I was 12. And so I've read all the books. I've gone to see all of the movies in the theater. It was just this gift that my dad gave me of these Harry Potter books. And like, here, you know, I know you're the weird one, so read these books. And so I fell in love with Harry Potter. And so when I found out they were doing the play, Austin and I could not get a ticket for the first 6 months or I don't know.
That was tough to get tickets.
We couldn't get tickets. Finally, we got tickets. I was able to get 2 days off work. Austin was able to get 2 days off work, and we went to see Harry Potter. And it was everything I wanted it to be. It was that and more.
We won't say anything about it for no spoilers because anything we say would be a spoiler. But it was great. It really was.
They did such a great job. And when you sit and watch the show, if you're a person that likes concessions, I like concessions, you can just fill it out on an app and they bring you your concessions at intermission. You don't have to leave your seat if you don't want to. Yeah, such a great experience. And that is what I'm talking about. That's the perfect example of what I'm talking about is when I pay to go to a theater, I want to transcend. You want to be immersed? Yes. I want to be immersed. I want the story to be great. Mm-hmm. I want the theatrics to be great and not distracting, but serve the story. I want the music to be great, the sound design to be great. I just need a great all-around experience. That I would say that was my experience with Harry Potter. I had no complaints. And it was packed, you know, but everyone was so excited. Mm-hmm. And they did such a great job of getting us in there and immersing us in the world of the wizarding and rich world. So. Yes. Next on my list is a musical. And you know something about it. It's The Lion King. The Lion King's on your list. The Lion King made my list. And let me explain why, because I think it's important to know. The Lion King's on the list because it does musical theater, almost perfectly, in my mind. Mm-hmm. It doesn't do the movie musical like every other Broadway show. Stop doing a movie musical and making it just boring. Don't get me started. All these movie musicals. What it did is Julie Taymor started from scratch, did her own thing. Sure, they used the canon, but they brought in Lebo to do music that's authentic to the culture, using the language, the South African languages, which there are many. Yeah. Like doing it authentic and like telling the story in an authentic way. They didn't try to do just the movie musical on the stage. Yeah. They did it in an authentic, beautiful way. However, once in a while, they go back to doing Disney, which is like, you know, these little songs with these. I'm not into that part of the show. I don't think that works. I don't think it's successful. It gets the kids happy, whatever. But when the show is doing South African storytelling culture and those songs, the show is perfect. That is why it's been on Broadway for 20 plus years. And I wish the higher ups and everybody could see it so clearly that I do. That's why the show works. It works because it's theater and it's authentic to itself. And it's just perfectly done in that way. It's not because it's Disney and because people want to hear Hakuna Matata. They don't care about that. They really don't. Like, it's fine to hear the song. It's okay. But they're there because of the puppetry, the authentic costumes, the music that is Lebo's music, which is beautiful and gorgeous, and the scenery. They're there for that. Mm-hmm. The show, the theater part of what The Lion King is doing. The Lion King is also on my list.
It's a
To
beautiful
do a show for 4 years and not be sick of the show is huge. And
Yes.
I'm not tired of The Lion King because it's just so magical, and the music and the storytelling, and like Austin said, the South African influence is really what makes the show. And if you don't know this, I feel like most people do know this, but in every company of The Lion King, whether it be in Tokyo or the UK tour or I don't know, I'm running out of companies in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Any company of The Lion King production has I forget, I think at least 8. Well, how would you know? You don't know. But at least 8 cast members are from South Africa, and they make sure that there's always a percentage of South Africans in every company. And honestly, that is the magic of the show. So yeah, The Lion King is, including the puppetry and just this timeless story, The Lion King is absolutely on my list.
Yes. Brilliant.
Do you want to hear my next one?
Yeah, you have so many. Yeah, let's go through it.
Also on my list is Once.
Yeah.
I saw Once the film with Austin. Austin, you introduced me to it. I knew nothing about Once. Loved the film. Then we went to see a production in Chicago. We got tickets for the tour there. Loved the show. And that's true, honest storytelling, but a little fanciful too, don't you think?
No.
No.
Yes, I mean a little bit, but not compared to like, I'm talking about like Hello Dolly. That doesn't really do it for me. Some people, that's going to be on their list. That's their favorite show.
Yeah,
it
sure.
doesn't, that kind of stuff doesn't really do it for me as much as like more like play style, the smaller
and that's
budgets.
The beauty of musical theater is that you can have different styles and it's still musical theater.
You can have what suits you.
Yeah.
For Once is a beautiful show though. In the same way, it's not like a play because it's about when the music is playing, it's because it's happening. Mm-hmm. Like he's a musician and they're falling in love as they play. That's what's beautiful about it. It's like it comes out of honesty. And then what the musical does is it slightly heightens it sometimes, so that like all of a sudden they were just playing together, but it's like you're in their mind and it becomes something bigger as the memory of that playing that song together maybe became more romantic as time went on than what actually was in the moment. That's what the musical does so beautifully. Yeah. So I'm into it. I'm into Once. I thought it was gorgeous, not to mention the acting and the singing was gorgeous and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Did Once make it on your list?
Yeah, Once is on my list.
Once is on your list?
It's on my list.
All right, your list.
You're not supposed to look at my list.
I can't read
I only have 2 left on my list because I didn't want to put a whole bunch of stuff. I just wanted to put a smaller list. I've only got 2 left.
I have 3 more musicals.
Okay.
And I have 4 more plays to talk about.
Well, let's go through the musicals and then just mention the plays.
Okay, so my next musical, but this is only as a cast member and not. This is only as in the cast and not really to watch it because I have been in the cast of this production and I've also watched this production and it is weird to watch but very fun to be in, and that is Hair.
Oh no, Hair is not on my list. Hair is not on my list.
Hair is on my list because it's kind of like one of those cult classics. You either love it or you hate it. And I'm on the love it camp simply because I really enjoyed being in the production and I made some lifelong friends in the production. So
I've music directed Hair. I mean, I know Hair intimately. I know it very well. It's just, it's not for me. Just as far as, again, because of story. It's just really a collection of songs that came out of that Vietnam War era that were authentic. The writers, were actually creating this music authentically in the time. The actors in the play actually, believed in this. It was happening at that time.
Yeah,
so it makes perfect sense. It's a beautiful play that was like anti-Broadway at the time that makes a lot of sense. I love it in a museum historical way. It gives me no pleasure to see the play now, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to see it, but I wouldn't mind doing another production of Hair.
Yeah.
Next on my musical list is Les Mis.
Yes, Les Mis is on my list. Les
Mis was actually the first Broadway show I ever saw, and in person on Broadway, and I loved it. It's that big spectacle type of show. You need a huge cast, big numbers, heart-wrenching storytelling. it's everything you want when you want a heavy story for musical theater.
Exactly. And the reason it's on my list again is because of our background. My background is opera.
Classical.
We grew
voice,
up with opera, both of us. So
Yeah.
opera was my love. I will always love opera in some way, even though I don't do it anymore. But it always has a special place in my heart. And when I saw Les Mis, not knowing musical theater at the time, because again, both Adrienne and I got into musical theater late in life. So not knowing musical theater, and then to see Les Mis, I was like, wait a second, this is opera, but it's so much cooler. It's like, you know what I mean? It was like a lot cooler. It had like drums and like grooves sometimes, but the music was exciting, and the plot was more exciting than most operas that kind of drudge on. So I was like, wow, this genre is cool, which is really how I got into musical theater, because I started falling in love with shows like Les Mis and being like, this is the potential of opera. You know, it's exciting. The music is great. The costumes are great. The lighting's great. And that's why it's so powerful. It's awesome. So Les Mis is definitely on the list because it did that. Yeah.
Okay. And then you're going to wish you put this on your list.
What's that?
Unless it's already on your list. But we got the privilege of seeing a show last year. I think it was under the MTC Theater. The Wrong Man.
Oh, The Wrong Man should be on my list.
Yeah, The Wrong Man. And I think for me, what made it special was Joshua Henry's performance.
Josh Henry is amazing.
He's just such an impeccable performer, and really you can tell that he gives his performances 100% of what he has that day.
He does
100%, and I respect that. And
because didn't we go to like a matinee?
We went to a Wednesday matinee,
and he
killed it.
He killed it.
And there was a dancer also in the cast that really struck me. Forgotten her name, but I couldn't take my eyes off of her and Joshua. And
Alex Lacamoire did the orchestrations and the music direction, of course, which was impeccable because he's a genius. So it was great.
The show was so good. Austin went twice.
I went twice. Yeah. It was so good. It's just, for me, you don't get to see that kind of the story's interesting. The story is good. It has a good message. You know, it's just like it was a great show. I wish it was coming to Broadway. Maybe they're working on it, but I don't know. Maybe not. But
I hope so. I really hope that it gets another life because. The message was spot on. The music was fantastic. The choreography was really great. It's a great show in a very small venue. Yeah.
So great.
Those are all my shows.
Nice.
Do you have any more shows?
I have one more that I'm going to put on the list for a similar reason to Les Mis, is that it's one of the first shows that inspired me to do musical theater, which is Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, yes. You love Phantom.
When I saw Phantom, I didn't know much about Phantom, and again, not growing up in musical theater, it's like a standard. Everybody knows Phantom of the Opera, but I was like, what is this about? And then when you see it, it's just, again, similar to Les Mis, it's like so much spectacle, and you feel like, wow. And it's about this, this dark character who like sings this, in the opera and in the opera house. And I'm like, of course, I love opera. So I was like, what's in the opera house? And then Angela Weber does this very modern opera within the musical, and I was like drawn to that because of course we grew up studying like Webern and Berg operas, like these modern operas, and it was kind of like that, and I was like, it's so cool that it's like in there and they're doing this opera and it's a musical, but it's like, anyway. Yeah. So Phantom's got to be on the list just because it inspired me to do musical theater.
I love that. I think that that's important. The ones that the shows that inspire us, if we missed anything that should totally be on this list, write it down below. Let us know. Of course we missed things. I don't even know if I remember everything. But we're just saying kind of things off the top of our head. But we want to hear what your favorite shows are. So tell us in the comments. Yeah. Tell us in the comments what your favorites are and why. Do we have a subscriber spotlight today? We do, so we'll do the subscriber spotlight, and then I have to say my favorite plays. Oh, you haven't done the plays? Well, let's do your plays first. Okay, so we'll do the subscriber spotlight after you hear the list of plays. Stay tuned. And all of these plays I got a chance to see, and that's why I love them. And so it's a mixture of me enjoying the play, but also the production that I saw. And so number one on my list is The Little Foxes. I got a chance to see The Little Foxes at the Goodman, I want to say about 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Fantastic production. This is a play in 3 acts. acts, okay? There were 2 intermissions. I've never gone to see a play that long, but I enjoyed it so much. And at the end of each act, there was such a huge cliffhanger that I couldn't wait until the lights came back down and it was time to like see it again. So The Little Foxes. Next, we both saw this production, Eclipsed.
Oh, Eclipsed was good.
Eclipsed was a fantastic play, very hard to watch. The subject matter was very difficult to watch, but the women up there and the playwright, they all did such a fantastic job. And so Eclipsed is on my list. Schoolgirls, also on my list. A very fun comedic play that has a lot to do with colorism and beauty and Black women, and specifically Black women in Ghana. So Schoolgirls, check it out. And then lastly, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Got to see To Kill a Mockingbird a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's coming back. They just announced.
Yep.
With Jeff Goldblum.
Daniels.
I mean, Jeff Daniels, not Jeff Daniels. Not Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Goldblum might be too comedic for that. But so if you get a chance to come up to New York to see To Kill a Mockingbird, it is definitely worth seeing. It's difficult subject matter, but a really, really great play. And so those are my tops.
Yeah, those are some great plays.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have a subscriber shout out. Our subscriber shout out is going to someone that has been watching the channel for quite some time, and she always has something really positive to say. So this shout out goes to Bridget Amafa.
Yay,
and
Bridget.
I hope that we're saying your name properly, but Bridget Amafa, thank you so much for being a subscriber, and we hope that your Hamilton audition went really well.
Hey, Hamilton audition. Sorry I wasn't there to play for it.
Yeah, and that's it for today. So let us know what your favorite musical theater shows are, whether you've been in them, whether you've seen them, whether you've just listened to the to the cast album. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to be like, what are you trying to say?
I don't know.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.